Civic Center in the beautiful city of Fort Myers, Florida, we present USA Boxing. Our promoters, Gemini Boxing, in association with Elise Promotions. Our matchmaker, Mr. Mike Akery. These bouts are sanctioned by the Florida Athletic Commission. Robert L. Shevin, Chairman. Executive Director, Colonel George W. Porter. The Chief Doctor at ringside, Mr. Mark Sweet. Your judges for this evening, Mr. John Minoni, Darrell Brown, and Wilson Robinson. Ladies and gentlemen, this bout is scheduled for 10 rounds in the heavyweight division. Your referee from Brandon, Florida, Mr. Mike Boggs. And now introducing the principals. In the red corner, wearing the blue trunks with gold trim, weighing in at 220 pounds, fighting out of Salem, West Virginia, with a professional record of 11 wins, just 4 defeats, 1 draw, 4 knockouts. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing Art Terry. And his opponent, fighting out of the blue corner. He is wearing the white trunks with the red and blue trim. He tipped the Toledos at an even 227 pounds from Miramar, Florida, with a professional record of 32 wins, 5 defeats, 1 draw. He is ranked number 2 by the UBA, number 2 by WBC, and number 3 by the WBA. Ladies and gentlemen, the former heavyweight champion of the world, Trevor Berbick. Berbick, 10 rounds heavyweight.
Gentlemen, you both had your instructions in the dressing room, but one more thing. When I tell you to break, I want you to break clean. If I put you in the white corner, stay there till I tell you to come out. I want a good, clean, fair fight. I won't settle for anything less. Shake hands and let's do it.
Trevor Berbick is back after the embarrassing second-round knockout at the hands of Mike Tyson. Tonight, Berbick talking about it, saying he was sick, he was not himself. We've heard many excuses along the way in the sport of boxing, and that's one that Trevor Berbick is now using as he gets back in the ring, going up against Art Terry. The moment in the sun for Terry. Unusual background for a boxer. He was a 4-sport man in high school, none of which was boxing. At Salem State, he coached the women's basketball team. He was a professor there. He's a teacher of special ed, and now is a graduate student. His master's at West Virginia.
What a tough mental fight this is for Trevor Berbick. He knows that if he beats Art Terry tonight, then everybody's going to say, well, Terry couldn't fight. If Terry beats him, they'll say that Trevor Berbick couldn't fight. Either way, if he wins, he still loses because of the talk.
Well, after the Tyson fight, I think Berbick just wants to get back in the ring and feel good about himself, register a W, and that's what he is thinking about now. At the same hand, he is handing Art Terry, an unknown, a golden opportunity to make some kind of a name for himself.
That's right. This is a needed fight for Trevor Berbick. He must win this fight. And as we talked about a little bit earlier, if he's always seems like he's always on the losing end when he's expected to win.
And there is Berbick lunging at his man. Trevor certainly knows his way around the ring. Wouldn't call him a boxing technician, but he goes to the body. He's strong. But it depends what night. You don't know what to expect. Here's a guy who's gone 15 rounds with Larry Holmes. Beat aging Muhammad Ali. Beats Pinklin Thomas as a 7-1 underdog. He certainly had his moments, victories over John Tate and Greg Page earlier in his career.
Terry, on the other hand, has just been fighting for 1 year. He's given it his best, though. Won a couple of tough man tournaments. once, decided to go amateur, had a few amateur fights, and decided that he liked what he was doing, so he turned pro.
In only his second professional fight, he stepped in the ring against Quick Tillis. Went the distance before losing the 8-round decision. So at least he has been in there with one quality fighter. This is but his 16th professional fight, and he is hit 3-0, 30 years old.
You've got to give him credit, too, because he was not frightened at all coming into this ring tonight. He's an articulate man. He seems to have his priorities right. He just wants to give it all he's got. Just trying to last out through this first round.
He's certainly concerned that it's a 10-round fight. He's never gone 10. Let's pause right now for our local cable systems. You're watching the Tuesday Night Fights on USA.
Tired of chain store meat?
So Trevor Berbick with 3 minutes behind him. First 3 minutes back in the ring since the devastation at the hands of Mike Tyson.
Terry with some style of his own, displaying his left jab. He's on his bicycle. That first round, he was content with just circling around Trevor Berbick, not letting Berbick set up.
Terry is not a knockout artist. He talked about that before the fight. He feels if he has any chance to beat Berbick, it is to box him and to try to outsmart him. He does not have the one-punch knockout. Matter of fact, in 16 fights, he has but 4 KOs. And he was, Sean, concerned about the fact working in West Virginia really doesn't have that much a chance to spar. Not many sparring partners in that area. And he feels that he just did not get enough sparring coming into this fight, and a concern the longer this one goes, and it's scheduled for 10.
That's so true, and he's showing signs of that early in this second round. He's breathing through his mouth already, and we're early in the fight. Only in the second round, and there's 8 more to go. It's all uphill for Art Terry.
One advantage he may have, he certainly knows more about Trevor Berbick than Trevor Berbick knows about Art Terry.
So true. That's so true, but Berbick cornering his man up, sidestepping over.
May not matter.
Not allowing him to run around like he did in the first round. Oh, good body punch. 2 of them by Trevor Berbick. That weapon right there is so effective because the liver is on that side of your body. If you can hit a guy on that liver, it'll cease to function, and it feels like you're having a heart attack. It just pulls it down.
All right, Sean O'Grady with the graphic description.
Oh, it hurts. I've been hit there. I know what it feels like.
And now Art Terry trying to fight back. Trevor Berbick, 32-5-1. He's lost to Tyson, Ronaldo Snipes, S.T. Gordon, Larry Holmes, and Bernardo Machado. Right by Berbick. Well, Art Terry, Sean, may have shown Berbick his best, and Berbick didn't even flinch.
That's right. In that confrontation, Berbick came out ahead. And now Terry back on his bicycle. That's the only way he can survive in this fight. He's got to run away from Berbick.
Well, he survived 2 rounds so far. 8 to go. Weighed in at 227. Back in the boxing hunt in the heavyweight division. He is ranked number 2 by the WBC, number 3 by the WBA, claiming that he was ill against Mike Tyson. Certainly looked it. But he's making his comeback tonight, just getting the feel of the ring and just looking for a victory as he goes up against Art Terry. Most of you are meeting for the first time.
Berbick is trying to work on his style here. He knows he's got total control in this fight, but he wants to use this fight to propel himself a little bit in that heavyweight picture. He's trying to learn a few things out there while Terry's in the ring. Terry on the other hand, is not, whenever they clinch, he's not tying up Berbick. If your hands are free, you've got to throw punches. That's the basic idea. There they are in a confrontation again together. Terry's got to grab the arms of Berbick.
Berbick has to feel that he has already faced the best that Art Terry has had to offer. And there was essentially nothing there. Terry with nothing behind his punches, and must be on the bicycle to withstand Berbick for the 10 rounds.
And he's not. He's standing flat-footed in the corner right now. He's not on his bicycle. He's got to get up on his toes. I don't think he's got the wind to do it because, as he said, he hasn't had any sparring. That is so important in boxing.
Let him go.
Sparring, the people get in the gym, they put big gloves on and big headgears on, and they punch each other just like a boxing match. If you miss that, you're not sharp, your punches don't land accurately, you're not quick, you're not fast. That's what's happened to Terry here.
And it looks like it'll be a matter of time before Berbick, who is going to the body, wearing his man down, could put on the finishing touches.
Conditioning is 90% of boxing. It doesn't matter how good of a fighter you are. If you can't throw the punches, then you can't fight.
Well, in a wild sequence, Terry tried to look for the opening, but his shot's doing no damage whatsoever. He admittedly was nervous before the fight. He had never gone 10 rounds before, but as he hits the deck now in the third, said he could not pass up this opportunity, but Trevor Berbick is certainly taking advantage of his unknown opponent. Terry, very game.
Go put your mouthpiece here. Come on.
Terry looked over to his corner as if asking for help, and they told him to get up on his toes. He needs to run around. He needs to survive the round. Got hit with another right hand. Berbick is all over Terry at this point.
Will he make it out of this round? You see the closing seconds. You cannot be saved by the bell unless the last round. Terry trying to stay up. And he survives the round.
Terry lasted the round.
Maybe a mistake for Art Terry.
Get some air. Get some air. There's a look into the corner of Terry. The corner man was telling him, Jerry Thomas was telling him during that round when he got knocked down to get up on his bicycle. It was impossible to do, though, because Berbick cornered him up. He sidestepped over, wouldn't allow Terry to circle him.
Certainly a different background you don't normally find in boxing. He is a special eds teacher and is now going for his master's at West Virginia, and after this one tonight may be able to be doing that full time.
Trevor Berbick, the last part of that round, when he saw that he had Art Terry hurt and maybe out on his feet, he got down low and dug in with his toes with his punches. That's where you get the power from, down in your toes, off the canvas.
Use that jab, Art, and move. Stay off the ropes.
Fourth round, Berbick taking his time, coming out in full command. And with this fight, regardless of his opponent, for Berbick, it starts to wipe away the memories of last November.
Berbick cannot allow to get sloppy here. He's again got to go back to the well, set up his opponent, and then take him out.
Sean, tell me, how important is the next fight after a loss, even though you had only 5 of them in your career and 86 fights?
Psychologically, it is the most important fight. After a loss, it is very important to try to get back on the top. You've got a lot of pressure on you. A lot of people from around the world are watching you. Heavyweight champions are here trying to take a look at Berbick. The news media is here. All the camera, all the eyes, all the attention is focused on Berbick at this point. If he loses today, back to square one.
And now he has Art Terry in severe trouble. But Terry punches out of it. And the crowd responds for Terry, the underdog.
Terry is just determined to stay in there with Berbick. Berbick again using those powerful legs to dig in with those punches.
Let him go, Art.
Mixing his punches up well, going to the body and then up to the head. Again, a body shot. Terry's got a little bit of roll down there around his midsection. Berbick sees it. Now back on his bicycle, a good move for Terry. He's got to do something to break that string that Berbick has got at this point.
And the longer he goes, the more tired he will be, and he will be unable to get away. And now a warning from the referee, Mike Boggs.
Breathing heavily through his mouth wide open is Terry.
Ten-point must system here in Florida. 3 knockdown rule is in effect. Cannot be saved by the bell unless it is the last round. There is no standing 8 count. And also rule, as you see, referee Mike Boggs wearing the gloves, as do the corners. And now apparently some tape off the glove of Art Terry. Very strategic for Terry, who gets a little breather right here.
This is a good time for Terry. He's able to catch a good breath right here. He needs it.
So the clock now starts once again. And we'll see how Terry responds to the few seconds of rest. And remember, for the entire fight so far, Terry has been moving, using up the energy.
He's trying to move, and look how Berbick is sidestepping Terry to cut that ring off. He won't let him circle all the way around. Cornering him up. Good right hand by Terry. Probably the best punch he's thrown in this fight. Finally, when he hit Berbick with that right hand, Berbick just shook his head as if to say, come on, let's go.
This is so relaxing. A kayak.
15 rounds. Round number 5. Art Terry overmatched against the former heavyweight champion Trevor Berbick, but certainly a game performance for Terry, who comes out for the 5th round. He has been down once in the fight, and he continues to move.
Between rounds, Berbick was complaining to his trainer, George Makers, that he's having some trouble connecting on Art Terry. Terry's putting up a good stretch, good scrap. He's trying. You got to give him credit for that. He's in there. We're looking at 5th round action.
He must continue to move to stay in the fight, but the more he moves, he is wearing himself down as the fight grows longer. It is scheduled for 10. And now Berbick has Terry where he wants him. Terry can't stay along the ropes.
That is where you don't want to be when you're fighting Berbick. Right on the ropes. Look at those hooks.
And look at Berbick. He's barreling in, Sean.
Bending that left leg, getting all the weight of his body and pushing with that left toe. He's pulling that hook around, increasing the power of it. Those body shots are so brutal.
And Terry is completely exhausted. He may go down just to get some rest. Trevor Berbick looking for a confidence builder after the defeat at the hands of Tyson. And he certainly picked his opponent well here tonight, and that is it. Art Terry says, why? The crowd doesn't agree with Mike Boggs, but he has seen enough. Would you say Art Terry was defenseless, or did Mike Boggs just make the determination that he had no shot?
I think Boggs at that point had just figured that Terry was not going to fight. That he was just going to try to stay in there. Terry is really upset at this point.
Berbick says, let's continue to go. The heck with the referee. Berbick still wants more.
That's enough. That's enough. Oh, you did a great job. That's enough. It's over. Come on.
And at the end, it shows us exactly what this was, an exhibition.
That's enough, too. The referee has got to have total control over that fight.
That's enough, Trevor. Come on. Walk away.
You know, once that referee makes a decision, it's got to be final.
Well, that was Trevor Berbick. I mean, he said, hey, let's do it. You're right. Come on, let's fight. If I'm Mike Boggs, kind of tough to get in between those two. And the crowd still sounding off, as is Art Terry. But it is over. Berbick didn't mind going longer. He wants more of a workout. And he is leading the chance. He's upset that the fight was stopped.
Berbick realizes that he needs to work. This is his first comeback from the loss from Tyson, and he wanted to have a good showing here tonight. What a tough fighter to fight was Art Terry. Terry didn't care about winning the fight. He just wanted to survive. He just wanted to stay in there.
He wanted to go 10 with Trevor Berbick.
That's right. It's so difficult to fight a fighter like that.
All right, we'll get the official time, and Sean will be in the ring with Trevor Berbick, and we'll hear all about it when we return.
It's quitting time. What'll he have.
With us when Sports Center continues, we'll be talking baseball.
Exhibition and Phil Myers are those who would like to see Larry Holmes fight the winner of Foreman and Cooney.
I think Larry would love to fight either one of them. I think his sights are Michael Spinks, but I think if the money's right, Larry will fight either one of them. I think you're going to see tonight that he's not that old fellow everybody thinks he is.